If you're emotionless, you're not a human. But there is one emotion which will make you superhuman. How to use it for your own good. Welcome to Askraghulan. Thank you for all the love and support. If you like my videos, subscribe to the channel. And this video is sponsored by armorado.com. You can find a lot of cool products like watches, and we're also introducing a smart ring. And this ring we are partnering with Virtuatainment so that you can mine some cryptos as you wear it. And wait for it and follow Armorado social media. You'll get announcement, and we're gonna give few rings as free as well. If you ask people, tell me one emotion that you want to get rid of. Most people will say like, I don't want to be angry. Whenever I'm angry, I'm actually losing myself. I'm not actually in my own senses. A lot of people say like something like that. But that is in fact true, because we have seen superstars like Will Smith lose their value in a matter of few seconds. He got on stage and he slapped Chris Rock. And just before that instance, Will Smith was like highest paying superstar in Hollywood. Right after the slap, he got famous and he got a lot of projects he got dropped off. Today, he's struggling to get a job. And that's the result of his anger. But the point is, that's only a small portion. There is like a very huge portion where anger helps us to build things. The world that we live in today, a lot of things, everything that is built because like we were angry, and we were angry that someone has challenged us. We are angry that someone insulted us. We are angry because we were fighting for our survival. And that's what made us to be here today. I'll give you an example. Like say if you put an animal into a room, and if it doesn't give you options for it to run away, it will fight. Irrespective of whether it's been an ant or a bird or a dog, doesn't matter which it is. It doesn't matter what size it is. Doesn't matter whether it has a winning chance or not. It will still fight and give its best of its possibilities, of its capabilities. And that's the same thing with humans as well. Humans came here today. We are top of the food chain because we were challenged. We had ego, and that ego was being pretty much crushed plenty of times. And we want to prove it back to it. And anger is one of the biggest emotions that we are here today. And give you another example of how anger actually changed things for good. So there was this guy who was a tractor manufacturer, and he was like pretty good at manufacturing tractors, and he was making good money, and he wanted a good car. So he went and bought a very good nice sports car. He loved it in the initial few days, and then he is a mechanic by himself. So he started seeing like certain things that okay, we could actually improve in this car. He couldn't hold him to himself. He would say like, okay, I'm excited, I'm going to tell to this guy. And that guy who's manufacturing this sports car is almost close by. He went to his factory and he met with this guy, and he told him that okay, this is all the things that you could improve. The clutch is not that great. You can do that, do this and stuff like that. And that guy is like, okay, who are you? I'm actually the manufacturer of this tractor company. So you are a tractor company telling me who I am. Basically, I'm a sports car manufacturer, number one in the world, and you're telling me like how to make my cars. Get the hell out of here. I don't know who you here to come and tell me what to do. And then this guy insulted the tractor manufacturer. The tractor manufacturer came back home, and he was like super pissed, and he was like super angry, and he couldn't express anger like enough that he gets away from it. And he decides like, okay, he insulted my capabilities, he insulted my intelligence, he insulted what I can do without even knowing who I am. Let me show him who I am. And then he put all his money, he risked all his money, he risked all his reputation, and started a supercar manufacturing company. Everyone laughed at him. Imagine like a tractor manufacturing company starting a supercar manufacturing. And it's like everyone laughed at him. He went on to race. He started winning races. He started getting some reputation. He started selling supercars. Right now, if you Google supercars, that company will be in par with the company who he fought with. And the company he fought with is Enzo Ferrari is the owner, and the company is Ferrari. His company is Lamborghini. So now that is a good example of how anger could shape things out. But remember guys, when we were teenagers, people don't really consider us child when we say something that say like, okay, go and play. Whenever we say something which basically angers them, they'll say like, you shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. And then they insult us. So that means like we don't get to be a child, we don't get to be an adult, we are basically in between. And that is a time sometimes what happens is like all our little angers get bottled up, and sometimes it explodes, and then we shout randomly, and we become like it's like top of the peak, we are doing something. And that's a time everyone in our house, from little one to the big ones, basically starts listening to us, and then say like, okay, we'll do, don't worry. And then like they'll give a proper response. And that is a time we first learn that anger is a very powerful emotion. Anger is something that we can get everyone's attention. Anger is something that we can make people listen. And that is something that we learn from anger. But that point onwards, we start using anger for a lot of little petty things. We should actually use it for really good achievable things. And also the same way, anger gives us a lot of edge. Whenever there is a group of people, you can show a little bit of anger. You don't have to really be angry, but you can show a little bit of anger to lead. If you have the real potential to be a leader, most cases, if you look at it, leaders will use anger to put the group into one single voice. put the group to follow a single vision. That you can see in stories of Steve Jobs or Bill Gates or Hitler. If you look at all those people who have led a lot of group of people, they use anger to make sure that the people listen to them. And that's one thing that's good use of anger. And people can use anger to negotiate. A lot of negotiators, when in a hostage situation, they always have a tone of, let's say, being calm. At the same time, they are being upset, they are being anger, and that anger basically give them an upper edge to dominate, to demand, and to get what they want. So that's one thing that you can also do it. But at the same time, anger also gives us a voice against injustice. Let's say whenever something is bad is happening, let's say corruption or something like that. Now, how do we stop it? How do we find a solution? Like, say, what happened with French Revolution? Everyone got angry upset about something, and everyone decided, okay, let's go and take laws in our hands, let's fix it up. And that's French Revolution. The same way, if you look at, let's say, Mangal Pandey or anyone, that anger is a result of some injustice. And that is not something it's going to stop, like only anger can put a stop end to it. And that anger did actually do go and did some good. But of course, it also results in violence and other things as well. But anger is also indicates there is injustice. So that's a good point as well. And also anger safeguards values. Most of the time, like say what happens with India Got Talent show, I put a video about it. Why I was angry, why a lot of people were angry, because there is a value system, and that particular show is breaking that value system. And what stopped that show, what is trying to put him behind the bars, is basically a lot of people were angry about it, and the government listened to that anger, and that's like a positive outcome that has happened because of that anger. And same way, guys, when you're angry, don't use bad words. That I have already been saying in a lot of my videos. The reason being is, whenever you're angry, if you use bad words, that's basically like a shortcut to basically insult someone, to basically win over an argument and things like that. Don't do that. Use a logical statement. Use your intelligence. Whenever you're angry, if you're able to use your intelligence, you will be a king, you will be ruling stuff. You try that one. And the same way, don't be a perfectionist. Whenever you have high expectations, whenever you're a perfectionist, you always tend to be angry. Whenever you're angry about people, and then because of course, they work for salary, you work for a vision, you may be a founder of a company, you may be a perfectionist to achieve your vision, but not everyone in a company will have the same idea to do a job. They just do a job for a salary. And it doesn't matter how hard they work, your expectations will always be higher. Now that sort of perfectionist ideology will basically result in people performing poor. You will express anger and showing that they are incompetent, and that is not going to increase the workforce productivity. So think about it. And same way, your anger should always result in a sort of like a good outcome, guys, not something which produces a bad outcome. So think about it. Thanks for your love and support, guys. And if you like my videos, subscribe to the channel. And if you also have another interesting topic that you want me to talk about, just put it onto the comment section. So I'll take it and we'll discuss about it. Thank you so much. Cheers.